You ask, we investigate. Mark from Pleasant Prairie needed the I-Team's help after he found himself locked out of his own home.
Jermont Terry is here with a rather unusual landlord dispute, Jermont.
It is. Imagine coming home to find someone changed the locks to your house. You call police and they tell you to leave. It sounds ridiculous, but one man faced this reality and he believes the law did not protect him. You can compare the past few months from Mark Dupey to this crossword puzzle. He struggles to find the right words to describe what he's been through. They took over your house.
They took over my house.
He's called this simple ranch house his home since 1989. But in December, Mark found himself locked out of his house.
I go to open the door's locked. So I try my key won't work. I go to the front door, ring the doorbell, they're just standing in the living room staring at me.
It wasn't thieves or foreclosure. Instead, Mark's stepson and family refused to open the door. Mr. Zirk?
No, you got the wrong guy, sorry.
This will be you right here. I'm Jermont Terry with today's TMJ4.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a few questions. That's Daryl Zirk, the stepson. Back in July 2013, Zirk and his entire family were invited by Mark to stay at the house rent-free.
We never talked about rent.
Zirk's entire family moved in with Mark. A few weeks later, Mark headed to Colorado for work. He spent 4 months away while the stepson's family stayed in the house.
I suppose I should have had to sign a lease or something, but I didn't, because he is family.
They did agree to house rules, which said Zirk would only pay utilities. When Mark returned home, that's when he found himself locked out, and police called on him.
When they came out with the rules of the house, they considered that a lease. And then they had 2 deposit slips for the utilities, and that was it. Okay. I said, this is my home. Where am I supposed to live?
And this situation is completely legal. Mark became a landlord, and his stepson was legally a tenant.
That is not a house that I rent out. It's where I live.
While he fought to get back home, Mark slept with his neighbors and spent hundreds on lawyers.
The law protects squatters.
But Zirk insists he wasn't a squatter.
So,
did you actually disagree to leave? Why
we didn't. He came back early. Our agreement was till April 1st.
Okay.
He came back early and wanted us to leave early. Okay. He violated the lease, not us.
Was there an actual lease? That's the point that we're trying to verify here.
Tenancy agreements do not have to be in writing.
Mark Silverman with Legal Action says despite never paying rent, Zirk became an at-will tenant under the state's landlord-tenant law, and it's something he sees often within families.
I say it can happen because people often do not put their agreements in writing, and they will at least initially trust the other person.
My trust is definitely gone now.
You're finally back in your home. After going through the legal process to evict the stepson's family, Mark is now back home, but he questions who's really protected under the law.
It's just ridiculous that I should have to be going through this, and the laws definitely need to change.
Now, Zirk says he has receipts showing he paid both utilities and rent. He admits changing the locks only because he feared for his family's safety and insists there was a lease. But as it turns out, under the at-will tenant agreement, a lease is not necessary. Legal experts suggest you should always put something in writing, especially when you're dealing with your own family members. Back to you.
That's amazing. Important advice. Thank you, Jermont.